What's up, everybody? I'm out here in a beautiful Tuesday morning, and I'm just going to show you all what I do every morning when I wake up, just for my morning exercises. Super simple routine. Starts with the feet, moves up to the ankles, to the quads, even gets the glute and the core right. It is something I do every single morning, and it takes less than 15 minutes before I roll out of the house. I'm just doing it on the track so you guys can see it here when I do my workout. Let's get to it. Alright, before we even get started, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to do each exercise and I'm going to walk you through it on a few different cues because remember, it's very important how you do this rather than just blasting through it. I'm also going to go at a pace that hopefully you can follow along as I do it so you can take some visual cues as well. Alright, for the heel raise, you just want to make sure that you're lifting up from the balls of your feet towards your toes and really contracting, not just at the calves and the quads, but also the glutes. Keep those hips stable. As you can see from the front view here, I'm trying to keep my ankles and my knees together as much as possible. They don't always stay in contact, but you just want to aim for that. Keep everything contracted. Next, we've got a squat with a heel raise. Same cues as the first one. Be very balanced on your balls of your feet. Try to maintain stability through your ankles. Usually you don't want to let your knees go over your toes with a squat, but this is okay. Our heels are raised. Also, notice how I'm squeezing the glutes at the top of the movement. So I'm squeezing my calves and my quads and my glutes when I come all the way to the top. That really accentuates full hip extension. And for the last of this early part, you want to make sure for this, it's the bent knee heel raise. Same thing, be very stable on the way up and down with each movement. Keep that core engaged. I didn't mention it with the early exercises, but with all of the exercises in this series, you want to make sure you're bracing those core muscles as you go through the movements. What I'm pointing to is the navicular bone of your foot. Now, the reason why I'm pointing to this is because it's very important that as you do this movement, try not to let that bone, especially if you have flatter feet or you're an overpronator like myself. Very important, you try to squeeze the muscles through that inside part of your foot to keep that little point where I'm pointing at with my finger. Try to keep that from collapsing towards the ground as you go through the range of motion. Really squeeze the glute on that balancing leg, and also try to think about driving that heel that's going up into the air. Try to drive it straight up so you can really emphasize contracting the other glute as well. So basically you're squeezing both butt cheeks. Now we're going into a pulse with it. This depends on your ankle mobility. You might not be able to get as low. Just go down and up under control, also keeping both glutes engaged. We're doing 10 reps on each side. Now we're getting to the fun part. Really focus on contracting those obliques. Those obliques are the muscles on the top side of your body away from the ground. And connect with your core as you rotate onto your backside. And really focus on finding that stability point before you lift your legs into the air. Again, we're aiming to do this one under control. We're going to do 10 on each side. This one's pretty fun. You're gonna roll back, hands underneath your knees, and as you roll up, try not to just roll up with momentum, but contract at your abs and your core. Find that stability point, and then you're gonna reach both your toes and your hands into the air. Now, I'm not doing a very good job of this in this particular one. My shoulders are a little bit tight today, but try to get those arms up and out as well. They're gonna kind of be at the same angle as your legs. Couple different things going on with this one. We're gonna make sure that we're pressing through the heel of that planted foot. That's gonna really engage that glute on the other side. If you're feeling this more in your hamstring or your lower back, really think about squeezing your butt cheeks as if you had like a dollar bill or a credit card between them. Only drop that leg as far down as you can without letting your hip drop as well. Then we're going to add the little twist. Go up to the ball of the foot, focusing on ankle stability, and pulse 10 times as well. So we're going to do the 10 reps with the leg swings and then 10 into the pulse. For the glute bridge, really make sure you're planted just like the single leg version, but through both feet. Do this under control, nice and slow, there's no rush. Squeeze those glutes as if there's a credit card between them. Again, if you're feeling this more in your hamstrings or that lower back, you wanna first think about pushing those feet, like your toes, away from you, kind of like if I was pushing my toes towards my shoes. And then also focus on really squeezing those cheeks. And pause for a split second at the top of the movement. For the clamshell, make sure you're pressing through those knees, get a nice angle from your head down to your knees in contact with the ground. Squeeze through the core, squeeze those glutes at the same time. So as I lift that knee up and out, I'm really emphasizing the squeeze. The bottom side of your body is going to be working as much as the top side.
And that's all we got. Simple as that. You can do that in 12 to 15 minutes every morning. It's great. I like to do it before I even hit the track usually, before I even leave the house. And the greatest part is, it's just simple. It's easy. It's all about control. Remember, when you're doing this, it's not about just banging out reps like you would in the weight room. It's about control. You want to feel controlled movements throughout every inch of every movement. If doing sets of 10 is too much, you can drop it down to 8 or 5. Just do whatever you can do under control. So other than that, that's all I've got. I'm about to get my workout done once and for all. I've been at the track for 2 hours just recording. So yeah, without further ado, y'all take it easy. Peace.